Yes. Well, I guess it's good. We're good to go. So it's 5 o'clock. So welcome everybody, what part of the world that you're joining us. This is Dr. Abayomi Ajayi live, and today is a very special day. We are talking to the apostles of HIFU. On the 25th of June, 2021, Nigeria joined the global community of HIFU. Many people ask me, what is HIFU? I think people relate more to fibroids than HIFU. But what is HIFU? HIFU is High Intensity Focused Ultrasound, and is used in the treatment of fibroids and also a tongue twisting condition called adenomyosis. We are going to also make sure that that also gains enough traction in Nigeria, because we'll be missing a lot of adenomyosis. But let's just talk about fibroids, but also know that I can treat both fibroids and adenomyosis. People also say that HIFU is a new technology. I beg to differ. Actually, HIFU has been in the world, started about 1950 something, when some brothers in the US, the Fry brothers, were investigating on how to use HIFU for some brain disorders, diseases. And by 2004, actually, the Food, Drug and Administration of the United States had okayed it for the treatment of fibroids and adenomyosis. And even the company we're dealing with, which is HIFU China, had built their first machine and had given it to the Oxford University in the UK in 2002. But it's taken us a long while for us to catch up on this technology, maybe because of cost, maybe because of so many other things. But you know what is interesting to me is the fact that what it does, that it prevents women from having this surgery called myomectomy for uterine fibroids. We know the number of, let me clarify things. I'm not saying that that surgery is not good. What I'm saying is this: when you look at the number of people who have myomectomy of surgery for fibroids in Nigeria, and look at the ones that become popular, if you like me to use that word, you see that there are not many, but even one is enough. And when we look at the things that go wrong with fibroid surgery, is either bleeding or anesthetic problems. And these are the two things that HIFU take care of. When you do HIFU, you don't drop a drop of blood, and you don't need general anesthesia, apart from the other advantages. But what we're talking about is overcoming fibroids without surgery. But it's really, we're looking at it from the point of view of the client. So it's my pleasure to welcome 3 people who I call the apostles of HIFU, because now I think we started HIFU treatment in Nigeria on the 25th of June. And now about 25 people have had it, and we have about 3 of them here today. They're going to tell us their experience. And because it's key that we listen to these people, ask them questions, and then so that we can dispel the myth. And because if I continue to talk about it, if you ask me, have you done it? The answer is I've not done it. I don't qualify to even do it. I don't have a uterus. So it's my pleasure to introduce these 3 women. And the first, I'll be biased because there is a doctor amongst them. So she's going to be the first person I'm going to introduce. Dr. Joy Oluwatumbi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I'll still come back to you so that you can tell us your story. You will also be the first person I'm going to ask to tell us your story, because you are a doctor. All right. And then we have Mrs. Esther Osani. How are you, Esther?
I'm very well. Thank you, doctor.
It's great to have you here today.
My pleasure, sir.
Right. And then also we have Mrs. Bolaji Olasoji. Hello, Mrs. Olasoji, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So these women are going to be sharing their experience with HIFU with us. Like I said, they're just going to be telling us what their experience has been with fibroids, and then what HIFU has been able to do for them. And then we take it from there. And then you will be pleased. You can drop your questions, you can drop your comments, they will be attended to. So, like I said, Doctor, you are going to I'm going to give you the floor so that you can set the ball rolling. Please just introduce yourself. We have introduced you, and then talk about your fibroid experience and what's right now, how you feel, and then we take it from there.
Good evening, Dr. Abayomi. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure being here. Dr. Abayomi, this is a great work that you're doing in Nigeria, bringing hope to the third world and giving us all the options available now, so we are free to choose. Yes, so to today's topic, overcoming fibroids without surgery completely once and for all is the desire of every fibroid sufferer. Who wants to do surgery? I bet no one is ready to go under the knife. So HIFU brings this option to us in Nigeria here. I did my HIFU in Nigeria. If I was told that I would do it, I would debate it. and it was even a black doctor that did it for me. That's very interesting. Yeah, that beats my imagination. I was diagnosed with fibroids in 2013 at the age of 27. And that same year I had to resign from my job because the symptoms were severe. At the time when I even resigned, I had figured it out that if the next menstruation met me in the hospital, it would become an emergency. And I didn't want any emergency because during emergencies, your life is in the hands of the doctor. You can't even argue anything. You allow them to take their decision. So I just resigned. That was 2013. And I had severe symptoms. I was bleeding heavily. And when I say heavy, it's heavy because I don't really talk. When I now talk, just know that everything I say is true. But the truth is that words cannot really explain symptoms of fibroid sufferer, no matter how you try to explain. In fact, the more you explain it, the more people will just disbelieve you. So you tend to just keep it to yourself. I had severe bleeding and I had severe constipation. That was 2013, 2014. By 2015, it was so bad, I had to present myself in the hospital. I was booked for surgery. After being booked for surgery, I defaulted surgery. I didn't want that option. I continued to suffer. It was very bad. 2015, 2016 again. In fact, I think I bled for a whole month. I was up and had to show up in the hospital again because I just figured it out that the next circle, I may not survive. So I went to the hospital. I was booked for surgery again. By that time, my PCV was already 18%. So the surgeon couldn't even go further. They had to build up my blood with blood tonic. I hope I'm not speaking too many jargons. All right. So that second time I defaulted again. I then delved into research. I was reading up, what can I do? What's my option of evading surgery? There and then I came across HIFU, High Intensity Focused Ultrasound. And out of everything that could deliver me from this captivity, HIFU was the only one that offered the hope of not going through the knife. But back then, HIFU was not in Nigeria. So I was just wondering that maybe one day I'll go and meet HIFU, or HIFU will come and meet me. Okay, that was this year. By February, I got into the height of everything. I said, wherever HIFU is, I have to go and meet this HIFU. Surprisingly, I now saw that Medical brought HIFU to Nigeria. That was like, is this real? I died of the number and lo and behold, it was real. So in March, I started my consultation. I did my MRI that same March. When the MRI result came out, I was a bit devastated. Why? Because I had this type 0 fibroid. That is, the fibroid was inside the endometrial cavity. And nobody wants to go near that with HIFU procedure. But after a little tug of war here and there, I was finally approved. And July 6th, I had my procedure here at Nordica. So that was July 6th. That same day, I started a menstruation. By the following day, I was on my feet moving around. Now, before this time, my symptoms were so severe that I had to sit in a position. I don't move around. Ow, you can't even move around. I remember nights I've had to sit up throughout the night so I don't bleed to death. Okay, so but after the procedure, I was able to stand up, move around. I was like, is this real? What's happening? It was like a miracle anyway. And I remember when I came in for my procedure that same day, as I lie down on the machine, I was just like, wow, this is happening in Nigeria. Makes sense. And I stood up after the whole procedure. When I came, I slept. I wanted to sleep, so I slept during the procedure. When I woke up and the gynecologist was beside me, the first question I asked him was, please, have you addressed that one? If I say yes, everything is going. I say, wow. I stood up. That day, as I was leaving the hospital, I remember saying, so this is just the end. I was like, wow, right in Nigeria. Nordica is doing a great work here. And I left. I got home, entered the house of myself. I was the first to even, and because I left them in the car, I just went inside. Everybody was shocked. They were like, did you really have any surgery done? By the following day, I was on my feet. I'd even forgotten I did surgery because I had to work to do on my laptop. So I quickly woke up around 5 a.m. I was working, and my family members came out and were like, congratulations. I said, what was that? I said, your surgery. I said, oh, that's true. I had surgery yesterday. So it was an interesting experience altogether. And post HIFU, it has just been wow, is this real? Wow. I remember on Friday, yes, I came around for the launching of and people were like, are you sure you had any procedure? I said, oh yeah, I did a procedure, why not? My second cycle, I came around to Lekki for clinic for follow-up, and well, up until now, it has been beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I just have a question before we go to, why were you afraid of surgery? I know it's a bombastic, like we say in Nigeria, it's a bombastic question. Why were you afraid of surgery that much?
Well, nobody wants to do surgery. Now, topmost on my reasons for not wanting surgery was that surgery is not really a solution to fibroid. You know, it doesn't eliminate the fact that fibroid can come back, it can regrow. I've seen cases where after surgery, myomectomy, removal of fibroids, patients were still bleeding for like 2-3 months before their cycle became regular. You know, I've even seen cases where under 1 year, this fibroid regrow 3 years. So I was not so eager to go for any option of, especially then you don't have to go under the knife. How does that make sense? I was not so eager to embrace all these options. Aside from the fact that it was even going to invade my body, I didn't want that. So okay. I just said, no, I'm not doing surgery.
I understand that.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so very much. Yes, we're going to take some other questions later on, but maybe let's come, Mrs. Bolaji, can you tell us also your own story? Introduce yourself and tell us your own story so that we can learn from you also.
Okay, good afternoon once again with Dr. Ajayi and everyone. Well, I'm Bolaji Olasoji, and I'm a mother of 3 children, and and I'm a businesswoman. Okay, so my own stories I was told I had fibroids. Not that I was told. I was told, yes, because I went to see my doctor and laid down my complaints because I normally have heavy periods. My menstrual periods are very heavy, and it takes like 7 days. It's like if it starts like on Monday, I know it's going to end the next Monday. So it was very heavy and very uncomfortable. Like normally during my period, I'll have to spend like 3 days at home. I'll not really be able to go out, and I'll be in pains. I'll be in severe pains, lower abdominal pain, and also lower back pain, and also even some cramps in my cramps, and I'll just be generally in pain. I'll not be able to go out. I'll not be able to concentrate on my work. You know, I'll be ill, almost able to the extent of wanting to throw up. And I'll not have peaceful night rest for at least 1 or 2 nights. So I went to see my doctor, and I was told that, okay, I have to remove the fibroids. And so that's how I now stumbled upon HIFU. So when I was told I have to do a surgery to remove the fibroids, so I went online to look for alternatives. So in looking for the alternative, I stumbled upon the HIFU treatment by then it was not in Nigeria. So they explained that the machine would soon come to Nigeria. Then eventually they started a WhatsApp group, and they said, if we're interested, we could join the WhatsApp group. So I joined the WhatsApp group, and I kept on learning a little more about the HIFU, and then I noticed that, okay, that is a new innovation. And I also noticed again that most of the people that were asking questions there were people looking for, that had infertility problem, looking for children. Then I just made up my mind that, okay, one, I'm not looking for children again, and two, I'm a widow, and right at that time, I was not ready to, I thought that, okay, probably this machine will be above what I could afford. So anyway, I pulled out of the group. Then someone from Nordica, probably the admin, now got in touch with me and asked me why I pulled out. So I narrated all I've just said. I narrated, and I was told that there's an opening. Okay, all right. Yes. Yeah, so anyway, so that was how I stumbled upon HIFU, and
somebody is disturbing your story. Who is disturbing your story?
Should I continue my story, sir? Well, I would have loved to continue because I benefited a lot from HIFU and Nordica. So I would love to share my story, you know. So anyway, okay, sir. So that's how I was told, and Nordica adopted me. Let me just put it that way. They adopted me as their special patient. So I was able to go through the process, and it's been a wonderful experience because number one, I didn't have to go under the knife. So that was really relieving, that I didn't have to be opened and stitched up and all that. And then number two was the whole experience also made me to know that I did not only have fibroids, but I also had adenomyosis. You know, so the HIFU procedure was able to treat both the fibroids and the adenomyosis. And then the beauty of this HIFU is that after the treatments, I was able to, a few days after the treatment, I was up and about. Well, I just had to actually caution myself. I had to stay at home for 4 days, you know, just to obey what the doctor said, okay, like rest for like 2 or 3 days. You know, but really I could get up and actually do whatever I want to do. I was not restricted. And so that was really a plus. That was really a plus for me. And yes, and then my cycle came and it was regular. It was just normal. The flow was just normal. It wasn't abnormal like before. So that has been my experience. Yeah, so my appreciation goes to Nordica, HIFU, and Fibroid Care Center. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Well, one thing I want to bring out from the two stories that I've heard is that the two of you, okay, doctor reads, but you also read, because for me, I think that's very empowering. Patients need to read. People need to read. The best things belong to people who read. And then also watch what you read, because some people read junk. All their information is from one place I will not mention. But you need to guide what you're reading and ask for second opinion if you're not clear. Fantastic. Then we're going to talk about later on about, somebody has asked a question about infertility, whether this machine can make you get pregnant. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk to Mrs. Osani. It's your turn. In my place, they say it's the biggest masquerade that comes last. I hope you are the biggest masquerade.
I hope so. Good evening, Dr. Abayomi. My pleasure being here. Good evening, everyone. I want to use this opportunity to thank Nordical HIFU. I want to really show my appreciation even before I share my testimony. I want to thank God I was able to locate them and I was able to go through the procedures, and today I'm a happy woman. Thank you once again, doctor. My own case started the year 2019. I never knew either that I had fibroid, not until when I went to my hospital. Definitely every woman or any woman in search of a child will want to meet his or her gynecologist for details. So I did that, and that was when I was told I had fibroid. In as much as my fibroids were not too small, but the locations were dangerous. It was dangerous for babies to stay in and all that. And I asked what could be the next alternative. But before then, when they asked me the questions, my doctor asked me questions about my experience, how do I feel during my cycle. And really, I noticed that as time went on from 2010, 2010, I noticed that my flow became abnormal. Initially, I measured within 3-4 days, I'm good to go. And before I knew what was happening, I noticed that for next 6 days, I'm still flowing, and not just flowing, I see clothes. I hope we all understand. So I see some clothes alongside with my flow and all that. So he suggested that the best thing I have to do is to go under the knife. Now, under the knife has been an issue based on the previous experiences of other people's testimonies. You understand? So I'm always scared of it because of other people's testimonies, but I had no alternative. I had no choice. I said, okay, if going under the knife will help me, let me go for it. I went for it, and unfortunately, the result wasn't that impressive as I expected, you know, but I thank God I was alive. I came out alive, because the truth about this, so many have died under this knife. So many have died. And I want to thank God that HIFU has come to stay and is going to help a lot of us. The fear alone, the day I went for my own, the fear alone going under the knife, I was shaking, you know, based on other people's experience. I've never been to the theater, but the fear of the past experiences and all that. But thank God I came out alive, like I earlier said, and Nordical is here to stay and to help a lot of women. I will encourage a lot of women, please, in as much as under the knife is good at its own, please, I think HIFU is 100% better for us. The only truth there is, it might be a bit costlier than under the knife, but your life is safe. Your life is safe. You have less, let me say, like 0% pains that you might pass through, because I have visited, I have gone through the procedure, and I am a conqueror. And that is why I'm glad to tell as many women as possible, please, I am begging to a lot of women that is hearing my voice now. I just feel like shedding tears. Please, I am begging, please, if you have the fund, come to HIFU, go to Nordical. They will help you. Go to Nordical. I beg of you. Okay? So my own case, God helped me, and everything came out and unsuccessful. From the first place I went, and going through another preparation or in search of a child and all that, I was also advised that before any baby can stay there, because my own case was a bit peculiar in as much as the fibroids, like what they said, was small, but the location was dangerous. I was advised that before we could do anything again, I have to go under the knife again. The fear became more than I really don't know what to say. Yeah, it was 50-50 chances, you know, but God has his own way of doing things. God brought Nordica on air. I got in contact. I never knew anything concerning Nordica. I never knew anything concerning HIFU. But on a fateful day, I was listening to Niger FM 102.7, and I was opportune to hear my doctor, Dr. Abayomi, speaking, talking to people and all that. But before I could get the address, he was already out. Believe you me, I had to look for where 102.7 Niger FM is. I went to their office and I was able to get the address. And I went there and I started my procedure. What am I trying to say? When you know you have something peculiar and you need to trash it, you can go to any length. So I went to that length. And today, reverse is the case. After I finished my HIFU treatment, I saw my first cycle, and with no pains, ease, everything is just ease. Once again, I want to say thank you. I'm so much impressed, honestly. I'm so much impressed that I found a Nordica HIFU in Nigeria. And today, I'm a blessed woman. Thank you, doctor. Thank you, everyone, for a blessed name.
Thank you so very much. Let me say that the words that you used are your own, so that I'm not going to be charged for advertising. Thank you. Anyway, I understand. Thank you so very much. I think some of the things that all of you have said, I've answered some of these questions, but I will try to, the ones you answered, the one about pain. I think all of you dealt with that. So, but I will still ask directly, is it a painful procedure? Any one of you can answer the question. Is it a painful procedure? Go on.
Yeah. Once again, my name remains Esther Ufwani Odekia. No painful procedure at all.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, this one says, please, can this procedure allow one to be pregnant? I will not say that, because you see, you need to do a proper fertility evaluation if the problem is infertility. But if fibroid is contributing to the infertility, yes, then that can happen. A lot of spontaneous pregnancies have been recorded elsewhere in other parts of the world where we don't have enough experience yet. We just have treated about 25 people. And we've not still, so the oldest person, since we started in June, is not even 3 months yet. So we say before you can get pregnant, you must have an assessment after 3 months. So to see whether your uterus is good enough, either you're planning to have spontaneous pregnancy or you are planning to do IVF. So I think that's that will answer that question. So we need to know what is causing the infertility before one can answer specifically. Then somebody is asking, can women who have had a myomectomy previously go through the HIFU route? I think Esther has also answered that question. She's done a myomectomy before and she's done HIFU. So, yeah. I want to inquire the price of the procedure. Okay, that will be supplied to you. If someone has done the operation before, can she go for HIFU? Okay, yes, we have answered that. How can we see you in Akure, Ondo State? Well, unfortunately, there's only one center in the whole of West Africa for now. You have to come to Lagos. Okay, Professor Imaku, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Can someone that has not given birth go for HIFU? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, Esther also is looking for the fruit of the move she just told us. So it's, well, Dr. Clara Urumbo from Abuja just said she's extending her greetings, saying that good presentation. How soon can one get pregnant after the procedure? We have answered that. We'll come to price later on. Is it affordable? How much? That's it. There's a lot of how much, yes. We'll answer that. Okay. Please, can the procedure treat classified fibroids of about 6 cm? Well, I can't answer that because every person has to be evaluated and see what percentage classification are we talking about, because the classification might make it difficult. If it's very calcified, might make it difficult for the, because HIFU is ultrasound, so it's not X-ray. So, and that's why it's safe. That's why it does not affect your ovarian function. It's ultrasound. So we need to see that it can be transmitted properly to get to the fibroid because of the coating of the calcium in the classification. So that we might need to see. Can this also open block tubes? Nope. It's not for tubes, it's for fibroid and adenomyosis. How can we see you? Yes, the address is on the website. You can check it out, or they will write the address for you as we go on. I heard that HIFU is not good for single ladies due to high intensity of the heat, which can affect the womb. That's not true. Well, Esther is already shaking her head. I think we have so many experts in the house. That's not true. So, good evening, doctors in the house and to everyone. Please, can this HIFU be used to correct fallopian tube blockage? Another note, it cannot be used to correct fallopian tube blockage. HIFU is used for fibroid adenomyosis and also for some cancers, but we are not using that for cancer now because we need to add some things to it. So we are not doing that. We're only interested in fibroids and adenomyosis. How much is the procedure? What does it cause early menopause? No, the answer is no, it does not. It is ultrasound. Please, what's the price? What's the cost for HIFU? Nigerians, they just like cost. Okay, do you have an office in Anambra State? No, not yet. The machine is not, what I say is that it's not Mr. Big Zo. the machine is quite pricey, so it's well, one day anyway we'll be able to have more than one in Nigeria also. What is the relationship between fibroids and adenomyosis? Yeah, nice question. Okay, the two of them are growth in the uterus, but they're different in the sense that fibroid is like a growth that has something like a capsule. So, and that's why you can remove it during surgery, you can remove it. But adenomyosis is endometriosis of the uterus. And endometriosis means you have the endometrium, that is the part of the uterus that a woman bleeds every month. You have it in the muscle of the uterus. So in other words, it's like you have bled into the muscle of the uterus. So there is no capsule. Do you understand me? What the body has just done is to try to circle it around. So it's just like it's endometrium in the middle of the muscle of the uterus. So, and that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult to treat fibroids, because doctors sometimes think they're going to meet fibroids, but sometimes the fibroids also has an adenomyosis, and you cannot remove the adenomyosis. So, and that's why sometimes you say, after 1 year after, I have a recurrence. Sometimes it's not the fibroid, it's adenomyosis. And we are seeing now that the two of them coexist a lot. And up to very recently, I think there's some people now that have started also working on this adenomyosis in Nigeria to see that we pick it up more, especially when we're doing MRI now. That's one of the other things. And one of the, Mrs. Olasoji told us about how that she also has adenomyosis. Please, do you have a center in Anambra State? Not yet. How can I see doctor? Can I do it for multiple fibroids? The answer is yes. Most fibroids in Nigeria are multiple anyway. Is there a center in Abuja? Not yet. The only center in West Africa is in Lagos now. Sorry for joining late, Dr. Musa Lassana Kamara. Oh, as officer from Sierra Leone. Okay, Dr. Kamara, thank you for joining us all the way from Sierra Leone. Is there a chance the fibroids will go again after HIFU? Wonderful question. Well, you see, when you do HIFU, you kill the fibroid. But you might have multiple fibroids and not all of them might be treated. So there can be a recurrence. But the one that is treated cannot recur again. So And the good thing again about this HIFU thing, since it's not radiation, it's not X-ray, so it can actually be repeated. If you need to repeat it later on, maybe 3 years, it can be repeated. So it's not dangerous at all. Okay. For those outside Lagos, for how long does one undergo consultation evaluation before the procedure? This you can do online. For those outside Lagos, we have online facility. You can have your evaluation done online, the consultation done online, so that we just collapse the procedure to about a week. And you can, we already have an agreement with hotels nearby the center in Lekki that you can stay. So you can, if you want, they can even pick you up from the airport and take you to your hotel. It's there's concierge service. I don't understand the HIFU well. It's recorded on Facebook, so you can listen to it again. Does this HIFU have any side effect? That's also a wonderful question. Yes, it does. But most of the time, some people are putting on their hands. Please, we might not be able to allow you to talk. Just type your questions and we will read. And the ones that we cannot read, we definitely answer and get back to you. And if it's the question to the panelists, that would be lovely. Does it have any side effect? Yes, it does. But as much as most of the time, when you obey all the do's of HIFU, the side effects are very limited. You know, so skin burn is one of them. And that's why we want you to, you don't have any anesthesia. You can talk to us. So if your abdomen is feeling too hot, you can tell us. I think those are some of the things I saw when we were discussing that with Mrs. Olasoji. She was so frightened about that. She will burn her abdomen. Yeah. But of course, that was just precautionary. Your abdomen was not burnt. Yeah. Where is it located? Is in can it treat additions? No. Where is it located? Is in Lekki. The address is on the, will be given. Yes, can I get the address? Yes. Can it be used for some microscopic fibroid, a taste blood? That's a little bit, I don't understand the question, so I will not be able to answer it. I've been discovered of, I'm sure this is adenomyosis, not endometriosis. What should I do? I need children. Well, you can contact the doctor or the center. They will give you what to do. Multiple uterine fibroids are formed by a Nordica star will cost between 400 to 2.5 million. Is scary. I booked for an appointment because let me visit. Okay. I was once Nordica's patient. Okay. Good evening. Nurse Christian from UCH Ibadan. Can fibroid make one bleed every day, like for 1 month straight with really low flow days? I mean, I think Dr. Joy also mentioned something like that during when she was talking. All right. I'm in Asaba. Okay. We have a clinic in Asaba. You can have, actually, for people in Asaba and Abuja, they could have their initial consultation because we have clinics in Asaba and Abuja. They could have their initial consultation in Asaba or Abuja. Yeah, after fibroid, can someone still? I thought you'd be asking this panelists some questions from their own experience. What is the size limit for use for HIFU? Can it be used for huge uterine fibroid? The answer is yes. Size is not a contraindication. How much is the procedure? Can HIFU deal with large multiple fibroids as large as 9 cm? 9 cm is not huge, by the way. We can deal with that. What is the full meaning of HIFU? We've said that high intensity focused ultrasound. I mean, it can be used for submucosal fibroid. Yes, yes, there are different kinds of submucous fibroids. Okay, depends on how the base, and that's why it's good that you have this assessment. If it is very broad-based, yes, it can be used. But if it's pedunculated, yeah, we might have to, that it has a stalk, you know, it's hanging on a stalk, we might have to use hysteroscopy to deal with that. So it sometimes is not out of place to combine HIFU with hysteroscopy for people who have fibroids that are submucous and can be best dealt with hysteroscopy. And that's one of the things that we say after 3 months, we want to do your assessment of your uterus to see whether you are ready to carry a baby. Can someone who has not menstruated in the last 1.5 years and but still is a child go through the process until you are evaluated, you can tell of that? Yes, we dealt with this. Can someone who is pregnant do HIFU? No. How long does the procedure take? 1.5 hours, 2 hours, depends on your own. For the women, was there any discomfort during the procedure? Thank you. This is of course, this is a doctor asking the question. He's asking that from the woman, okay, was there any discomfort during the procedure and how long did the process take? Can one of you please take this question? Maybe, Joy, do you want to take this question? Because it's my doctor.
Well, for me, during the procedure, I had made up my mind to just sleep because I was at home, and so I just slept. And when I woke up, I had a bit of back pain, maybe because I knew it was ultrasound scan, so I was feeling the waves, and it was radiating to my back. So I complained, and then the doctor said, "Well, that's not an issue. If it's a leg pain that would raise concern." So it was just transient, and after the procedure, I stood up. Maybe my own procedure lasted 1.5 hours. I don't know, since I was sleeping. I woke up and it was fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Can HIFU be used on fibroid in the womb, and how will it be done since inside the womb? I think we have answered that it can be used for fibroid in the womb. How's the procedure like? Will you be awake during the procedure? I think you just answered that again. Sir, please, I don't have any symptoms. I was told I have multiple fibroids. Well, if you don't have any symptoms, it might be, what I tell people is that if trouble does not trouble you, don't trouble. So if you don't have symptoms, though sometimes we say size is also one of the indications for surgery, but if you don't have any symptoms and the doctor does not say it's going to disturb you, I think you just leave the fibroid alone. So, okay, there's some questions from Facebook too that I'm going to, okay, Dr. Joy, somebody is actually your fan here. Sir, please, I missed out on the part Dr. Joy mentioned about if fibroid could make one bleed every day for 1 month. Okay, you want to take that?
Okay, sir. It's possible. Fibroid could make you bleed for a whole month, even longer than that. That's excessive bleeding. It happens a lot. I experienced it also. So,
thank you. Now, this is do we have testimonies who have used fibroid and now have their babies? No, we just started doing this procedure in June this year. And we said also that you need to have an evaluation 3 months after to see whether you're ready to have a baby or not. So nobody has a baby yet. But of course, like I said, this procedure has been done, I think about the last count, over 180,000 women all over the world have had this procedure. And they said actually, there's a center in Spain where they had quite a number of babies. But the Chinese say that they have over 2,000 babies, but 95% are natural conception after HIFU. What is the duration of the treatment? We answered that. I'm just coming in now. I really need to know if it can be removed through HIFU. Yes, we have answered that. Okay. Okay. How does the body expel the fibroids after the procedure? This is a wonderful question as well. The body does not expel the fibroid. Actually, the body reabsorbs the fibroid. So it's going to take a while. So what we say is that after about 6 months, you have about 50% reabsorption of the fibroid. After about 1 year, about 75%. But the good thing is that the symptoms go away almost immediately. So that's the way HIFU works. So it does not. Somebody is actually, okay, is a prayer. Okay, amen. Okay. Have the panelists done ultrasound that showed complete resolution of the fibroids? I think I've I've answered that, is there is no complete resolution of the fibroid. Now, what we do, after the procedure, we compare what the fibroid was like before and what it is after the procedure. So we see the percentage that has been burned off. Once you have over 80%, then you're good. The chances that the symptoms will just disappear is very high. So does it require anesthesia? No, but sedation is given, yes. Doctor, hysteroscopic missed my period. I was told it's because of the location of fibroid. This, I don't understand this also. Okay, I think there are a lot of mix-up here. Is it true that HIFU causes premature menopause? The answer is no. A doctor told me that HIFU is for Caucasian women fibroid, not Black women fibroid. I don't understand the difference between Caucasian fibroid and Black fibroid. We talked about size, that size is not a contraindication for you to use HIFU. So no, there is nothing like that. So can this procedure treat every size of fibroid, especially very big ones? Yes, we have also answered. I think the questions are just they're just multiplying. So I might not be able to take all the questions on air, but definitely we come back because we have almost spent 1 hour now. So I think what I'll just do is, so that I don't just keep you ladies here forever, I think what we just do is I'll go around each of you again. If you have any words that you have for the people who are listening, to help them as they go through this journey. Because, one of the things I just realized now is that there's so many people who are so afraid of surgery, who have been going around with their fibroids, that, seriously, I'm not sure I will blame them, because, not because of anything, but because, everybody's afraid of surgery, just like you said. Well, almost everybody. I don't think if anybody had a choice, they would do surgery anyway. So I'm not even sure if I had a choice too, I would want to do surgery for anything. Everybody just wants to be the way they are. So, but if you don't have a choice, then you have to do surgery. But if you have, then probably, and that's the whole idea. What we're doing is that HIFU cannot treat every patient. All right. But the ones that can be treated, let us appropriately choose them, and they can use that method. So, okay, so Dr. Joy, let's hear, so that we can call it a day. Let's hear your parting shots.
Okay, so for every patient out there suffering from fibroids, I've said it before that words can't describe what you're going through. So it's good for you to seek solution, because now all the options are available in Nigeria. So go for the best. And in my own opinion, HIFU is the best. So we hope HIFU will be able to accommodate more and more cases as the day goes by and as research continues. And as for symptoms, it offers complete elimination of symptoms. In my own case, it was complete, and it's still a miracle. Furthermore, I believe with more research, anyway, if anybody now needs something additional to hasten recovery over time, more things will be discovered that is going to help a lot. At least the important thing now is that HIFU is in Nigeria, so we are part of them.
Thank you so very much. Yes, Esther, any parting shots?
Okay, in my own suggestion, I would suggest that as many that wants to go through HIFU is a place whereby they will definitely tell you if they can handle your case or not. That is the fact you have to believe, because it's not all cases that they can handle. If they look, that's why they tell you, it says that you go through some tests. There are some tests you have to undergo for them to be sure that they can handle your case. If they cannot handle it, they will tell you they cannot handle it. Do you understand it? So now, going forward, HIFU will just do their best to open more locations, more branches for everybody to easily walk in. ask their questions, table their issues, and see a way forward or a solution to their issues as time goes on. But for me, HIFU remains the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, that's why we call actually the center Fibroid Care Center. It's not only HIFU that we can offer you. So whatever you need is what we can. And if it's something that we don't do, we tell you what it is that you need to do this. So great. Yes, Mrs. Olasoji.
Yes. HIFU is a beautiful innovation that I would love to encourage all women that have symptoms of any symptoms you have related to fibroids and heavy bleeding, and you should just get in touch with the Fibroid Center. Get in touch with them, let them diagnose you, and if you are fit for the HIFU procedure, you really benefit a lot from it, and you'll be glad you tried it. Yes, so please give HIFU a thought.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, I can see somebody is saying that. Please, what size is scary, doctor? Please answer before you go. Josa, okay. We said that size is not the issue. Please, we just need to see if there's so many other things that we look for besides size. What size just means is that if it's very, very big, but we don't consider anything less than 10 cm as very big. So if it's very, very big, it might just take a longer time for the process, and that's why we don't want the ones that are like 19 cm but it's not that they cannot be treated. So thank you so much. Somebody's asking, why is it so expensive? All right, I'm not going to answer that question. What you call so expensive? Well, because I say that expensive is relative, depends on who is talking, and then what does it cost you to provide the service? Okay, and then that's what, what we say is an option. It's not saying everybody an option. So thank you so very much for being part of this, the panelists. Thank you so very much. It's been wonderful. And I'm so happy that you could take time to be part of this. Anybody who wants to know about the cost can phone the center directly, because this cost might change. I don't want anybody to hold me to ransom and say, this is what you said. Because it depends on what you are calling. Some people will call you 6 months after and say, this is what doctor said. And we know how the value of the Naira is really. So I might not be able to tell you what the cost is on air, but if you phone, they will tell you what it is. Yes, they're asking for, the other people who are asking for phone number, all that will be written out. So thank you so much once again. And I think at this point, we'll just say goodbye. And I can't thank you panelists enough. You've been so wonderful. And I wish you the best of health. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.